Hello, welcome to this Crypto Professor update video on Nexo and the Nexo token. A few months ago, I recorded my first video on Nexo demonstrating its capabilities, what it can do, and also gave my advice on the Nexo token. Since then, things have changed, both for Nexo itself and for the Nexo token. So I'm going to provide an update on what has changed. Some of those changes have actually happened this day, okay? So today, the 5th of March, 2021, those changes have come into effect and they have affected the amount of interest that you can feasibly earn using Nexo, okay? One of the biggest changes that had happened since my first video was that the insurance is now $375 million up from $100 million. And they have also added another $1 billion to their assets under management. I am going to be reasonably bearish on the Nexo token because of the changes that have been announced today. The community has actually responded rather negatively to the changes, as you'll see a little bit later as to why. And I'm actually going to say that the number of Nexo tokens theoretically that are in the market could increase substantially because of the liquidity. We are almost at an all-time high for the Nexo token at the moment, and most of the technical indicators that I'm looking at are actually pointing south at the moment, particularly now with this fundamental change, but I'll explain more a little bit about that later. So what is this news that has changed? Well, it is the amount of interest you could earn has been more sophisticated, it's been complicated basically, okay? It still revolves around the amount of Nexo tokens that you hold. However, they are introducing a new fixed term deposit of 3 months. So basically you can see that while this was 8% for everything previously, okay, it's now on the base tier where you have no Nexo tokens, 4%, and you can get out of 6% if you want the Nexo token to be deposited in your account instead of the cryptocurrency or the fiat currency or the stable coin that you are depositing. Notice that stable coins are actually still on the same tier that they were, probably because Crypto.com and Celsius are still offering very competitive rates on stablecoins. But if you want to deposit fiat, it's now down at 4% rather than the previous 8%. You can get up to 6% if you want to earn Nexo tokens. This all depends on the number of tokens that you hold. If you hold 10% of your portfolio in Nexo tokens, then the maximum you can now get is 7% on cryptocurrencies if you want to keep it liquid, okay? The maximum you can get on fiat currencies is now 6% if you don't want to earn the Nexo token, or 8% if you want to earn the Nexo token, and 12% for stablecoins. That has actually unchanged for the moment, okay? One of the reasons Nexo are probably doing this is that the gas fees for cryptocurrency withdrawals are now extremely high. So therefore they've come in and also limited the amount of free crypto withdrawals you can have per month, with only gold tier and platinum tier users being allowed to have free crypto withdrawals. And even then they are capped at 1 for gold tier and 3 for platinum tier. I'm a gold tier member at the moment. I'm trading most of my Nexo tokens, so I'm actually have those on a external exchange other than Nexo. So I'm currently a gold tier member. So what does this mean for my actual earnings? So if I go back to my accounts and if I go to the interest, and I'm only earning in GBP here. So if I go to this, I'm earning 7% when previously I was this morning earning 9% before this announcement happened. Okay, so my rating has actually dropped down to 5%. So it's dropped 3% in total. Okay, that's obviously not a great thing if I was planning on forecasting those returns. I can, however, access a fixed term deposit. Now, this is a little bit like Crypto.com if you've ever used their service. They also have a 3-month deposit option, okay? And I can raise my level of interest up to 11%. Remember, I'm a gold member, not a platinum member. If I was a platinum member, it would be 12%. And I can put pretty much whatever I want into that, and it can also be automatically renewed, and I can kind of decide what I want to do with that. Okay, I could put the whole amount in if I really wanted to, and stake that for 3 months. Okay, now this is a little bit different. You don't get the daily interest. The interest is accrued at the end of the term. Okay, but it does compound. Okay, so it will compound on a daily basis, just like it does, just like it used to, but you'll get it paid in after 3 months. Okay, there is a way to ensure that you kind of have the same liquidity, but also can take advantage of the higher rates, because obviously earning 7% as opposed to 11% is quite a large difference. And that is by using a breakdown. Okay, so say, for example, I'm going to use a typical example of £25,000 you have to invest. If you want to keep the liquidity, but also wanted to earn the maximum rate, you could stagger your entries in over the course of 10 weeks. You're allowed up to 10 deposits or fixed term deposits, okay, per asset. So if you want to do this for Bitcoin or Ethereum, you could actually do this as well per asset. So if you wanted to stake £25,000 using the platform at 10, 11 or 12%, depending on your tier, you would do 2,500 in week 1, then another 2,500 to make 5,000, week 2, etc., all the way down to week 10, where you'd have actually 25,000 staked on the platform. Okay, at week 12, after the 3-month period, your original 2,500 would end. Okay, so that would then become liquid. You can then decide whether you want to repeat or you want to start withdrawing out. Okay, so rather than staking the whole 25,000 in one go and getting 8-9 weeks in and realizing that you need theoretically the money for something else, okay, or you want to buy something, okay, crypto related, you can actually stagger this so that you can get your money in and out, but also pay minimal costs and also get the best return. Okay, so you're getting ultimately a week 10, you're getting 10, 11 or 12% on £25,000, just like you used to theoretically on the old model, apart from the fact that the money will be released in a certain time frame, pro rata. Okay, so effectively what you're allowing yourself to do is have a similar level of liquidity. It's not exactly the same, obviously, because the money isn't available within 24 hours, but theoretically, it will only take 10 weeks to get out of an investment like this, and you are still getting the better rates. Okay, so my rate automatically jumps from 7% to 11% just by doing that maneuver. Now, obviously, it does accrue over time. Okay, you can also stack it so that they auto renew with the new amount as well. Okay, so if you wanted to put the interest in there as well and just accrue it that way and build it up over long term, perhaps you've got long-term goals for your Nexo account, then you are able to do that. Okay, now I think this is going to be a little bit more complicated. I always seen Nexo as being the kind of really easy to use model. It's the only account theoretically you can actually deposit fiat currency in, and you don't have to do anything in terms of exchanging it or paying fees. And they've kind of thrown a little bit of a kibosh on it with this procedure. I do understand it's probably costing them a fortune to have crypto withdrawals at the moment, and obviously it was very, very straightforward, very, very simple. The community has responded rather negatively. In actual fact, the token is down 8.36% today. Notice we are at the bottom of this ascending channel. Under normal circumstances, I would expect this to bounce, okay, and perhaps we could maybe see another attempt at another all-time high. However, given the scenario here, I am expecting this to break and come down to perhaps the $1.60 level. I am trading this, and I'll be repeating my buys somewhere underneath the $1.60 region. As I say, at the moment, we're around about the $2 region, just above the $2 region at the moment, and facing this large liquidity situation here with this descending break. Okay, so if this breaks lower than this, and bearing in mind I'm watching this on a 1 hour, on a 4 hour at the moment, if I look at a 1 hour, we are currently we've rejected it slightly, but I would expect as news sinks in of this development, people would actually start selling their Nexo tokens. If I look at the moving averages, again, we've got all these crossing over here. This 200-day is somewhere in the region of $1.78 at the moment. Okay, we could theoretically see that reached quite quickly as we see a drop on this news. Bear in mind that also other projects, when they announce major changes like this rather abruptly, also have a kind of scare situation. Most numerously was obviously crypto.com when they changed the staking requirements and changed the terms and conditions of their token and their offering. We obviously saw a huge drop of 80% or so. I'm not expecting the same here. Nexo hasn't, it's changed some things, but it hasn't completely torn the rulebook up. And, you can still earn exactly the same amount of interest. You just got to change the way that you do it. But I would expect bearish sentiment on the token at the moment. Not surprising, because obviously we were only at our all-time high a couple of weeks ago for the token itself. Okay, so if I were you and you're holding a significant amount of Nexo tokens here, maybe sell 10 to 20 to 30% of your portfolio. We could see a bounce. Okay, that is always a possibility. Perhaps people view this more negatively or positively depending on how the situation progresses with other cryptocurrencies. We also have a situation theoretically where it could align with Bitcoin, okay, and could correlate with Bitcoin. There was a video that I recorded recently where I looked at the correlations with different cryptocurrencies, and that could correlate with Bitcoin, which is currently oscillating somewhere around the $50,000 region. So keep an eye on Bitcoin basically, and if we do see a descent, then the overall majority would say that we are going to descend for Nexo token as well. Let's just have a look at the day chart and see where the MACD is. Okay, so we have crossed over. That's a very strong negative day candle there, okay, with almost no let up there at all. Okay, so that's the news effectively sinking in that Nexo are changing their terms and conditions, almost completely negating previous gains. So I would expect this to continue, the momentum to continue, the sell to continue as we break down from that trend as well. And also notice the MACD also, interestingly, negative divergence there, even though the price was theoretically climbing. This seems to have been priced in to some degree on a day chart. Let's look at the day charts for the moving averages. Okay, yeah, so we've broken this nice fan structure that we had with the moving averages. We have resistance at theoretically $1.95, $1.76, and ultimately that $1.50 region. I expect if this takes a couple of days, this could climb up to $1.60 and match the fibs that I've previously just shown you. Okay, so this fib level here, interesting, the fib level here is actually on a really nice liquidity zone. If I go back to the 4-hour charts and show you that, you can actually see this here, really nice liquidity zone here, a peak and then oscillating around this region, reattempting here and then oscillating at this region before breaking out ultimately and following that trend line up. So a previous area of interest, definitely at the $1.60 region. Okay, so the news basically is that things are going to get a little bit more complicated for Nexo. Okay, they are amending their structure around how you save. The good news is you can still get up to 12% interest. Okay, the bad news is that if you have a current savings account with them, your interest rate most likely would have dropped today, even if you are a platinum member. Using the fixed term deposits, though, theoretically can get you somewhere, and theoretically is a more secure way of managing funds for an investment company such as Nexo. Okay, they won't be struck by massive withdrawals theoretically under certain conditions, so it is kind of a good thing from that perspective. But obviously it needs to be managed and it needs to be thought about carefully, so you can divide your total amount of assets that you want to stake up and theoretically divide them into the subsections that I have shown here, so you get the good balance of liquidity versus the really nice high interest savings rate. I should also mention there are other competitors out there such as crypto.com who have a similar product where you can get 12% interest over 3 months, and there's also Celsius, which theoretically offers up to 16.5% interest on stablecoins, but you have to deposit all your funds in crypto as opposed to being able to use fiat currency in a bank transfer, which was one of the attractions for me of using Nexo. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this update on the Nexo token. I'll provide another update in due course when things settle down and we see where the token descends to. If you'd like this video, please like it, please subscribe to the channel as well. And if you'd like me to take a look at any particular crypto project for you, please leave a suggestion in the comments. I'd like to remind you that we are running a competition at the moment to win 1,000 CRO tokens. Check the channel for that. You can win 1,000 CRO tokens, crypto.com tokens, for only a 25 CRO entry fee. Okay, if you want to look at the video for that, it's on the YouTube channel page. But otherwise, as usual, happy trading. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to get $25 of CRO completely for free, please sign up to crypto.com using our referral link in the description on this video. We also get $25 of CRO to keep this channel operating. The Crypto Professor likes feedback. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it. If you'd like more of the same, please don't forget to subscribe. Or if you have questions, please post them in the comments and I'll endeavour to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.